Hey guys, Tim from Slimes Newcastle here, back with another board review. Sorry it's been a while, and today we're looking at the JS0 Fusion in the HyFi 3 construction. Alright, I'm very excited about this one. I have previously done a review on the Xero itself, the original version with the squash tail. Not a lot has changed there, but really when you're dialing into the HyFi 3, why it's so awesome. Bit of a focus on the pool too. All the clips we've got so far are just from Mick and myself surfing them in the pool. And both of us think it's the best board we've ever tried there. So real emphasis on that. I love it in the ocean too. Let's dive into it. The Xero Fusion is basically just the middle all-rounder in JS's range, sitting right between the Sub-Zero for your small wave stuff, and then the Gravity, which is more of a performance sort of hi-fi kind of better wave all-rounder. This is really good. Anything 1 to 5 foot. I'd say the magic zone's 2 to 4, but it does have quite a big range, and especially in the smaller stuff when you start getting this liveliness of the HyFi 3. And into the HyFi 3. Obviously the deck is looking quite similar to the HyFi 2. We've got a stringerless EPS blank. Can't remember what they call them, the white fibers that essentially act as the strength across there. And then these carbon rods. One of the good improvements they've done is they've updated these through the iterations of HyFi. Is these rods vary in length depending on the length of the board, so they're making sure they get that exact right flex. And then the really different part of the HyFi 3, which is quite easy to see, is the full carbon bottom. So this is based off the Carbo tunes, which you'll see with a full black carbon board, and gives you kind of like a halfway flex between them. You do find with a full carbon board, it's very stiff, it's an instant response, it's really fast and lively, but it is a bit of a different feel and a bit harder to get used to than a PU board because of the way it doesn't load up and flex, and I find that particularly into a carve, whereas the moment I jumped on the HyFi 3, it was just easy to ride straight away, just faster, zippier, and a bit more response. And probably just a quick chat now as well about how it goes in the ocean. Obviously that's where you're going to be doing most of your surfing on it. All the clips we've got are from the pool because we're tight asses and we don't want to pay someone to come film a surf. Flow state's very easy. But obviously I've been riding this mostly in the ocean since I've got it. Biggest waves I've had it in were probably 4 or 5 foot. One day that was actually quite bumpy and ugly too. Absolutely no worries. I think that's really dispelled the kind of notion that you can't ride an epoxy in bigger, bumpier waves. I reckon this buries a rail exactly the same as a PU. It's just springier, livelier, and especially up and down in the lip, it's better. Now, the Fusion as standard comes with the 5-fin boxes, so you can ride it as a thruster or as a quad. Could also do a twin plus one if the surf's kind of small and grovelly and you don't have anything else to ride. But most of the time I've been riding this with just a set of thrusters in, and that's what all the footage in the pool was on. Any nice all-rounder, I think just your go-to favourite fin is a good place to go. So for me, that's the FCS H4. So just been chucking them in, everything's perfect, didn't need to change it. If you're not sure on what a good all-rounder fin is, just throw some performers in. Right size for your weight, and that's a good place to start. I don't think I would have tried this as a quad if I didn't know I had the review coming up and had to talk about it. Didn't really want to do it, but I threw some in. My normal rule for a quad is to go to a slightly more upright fin, so for me that was a set of performers in there. Not quite as much rake as a H4 or an Almeric or a fin like that, and basically that just means it sort of offsets having an extra fin in there and you don't lose quite as much pivot. Basically, it was kind of what I expected, except better. Quads, like I said, you lose that pivot, so I didn't want to go up and down in a steeper section quite the same. But on rail, I think it was better. There's this lovely way that sort of quads jump side to side. You're almost on 2 fins at a time, kind of like a 20 feel. And then once you're locked in there, you've got all that drive and speed. So through rail turns as a quad, I actually, especially on kind of like softer sections, I actually thought it was better and it had this really nice release at the end. I don't think I'd use it all the time, and in the pool I'd definitely recommend just keep thrusters in because of that up and down and the way you want to stay in the pocket. But if you were surfing a bit of a longer, slopier wave, set of quads would be absolutely awesome, like a bit of a fatter point break or something like that. Or surf's kind of pumping some down the line barrels and you don't have more of a step up with you, you get the quads in there and have all that speed, that'd be absolutely perfect. All right, we'll see that we'll cut into this edit some clips of Mick riding it in the pool. Just a disclaimer, Mick is about to turn 67. You would not know that by the way he's surfing it. Is HyFi 3 the elixir of life? Maybe, we're going to find out. And I did reach out to Mick for a comment on why he likes this board so much, and he's come back to us with an official statement, which I'm going to read to you now. It goes good. And I think that actually sums it up really nicely. These good all-rounders, and especially in such an awesome construction, it's not hard to ride. There's nothing funny going on. It is a good surfboard. And probably the last one to talk about is the demos. We have them in the Fusion HyFi 3, so if you don't believe me, you can test that yourself. We've got anywhere between a 511 and a 6.2, which gets you around 32 to 37 litres. And hopefully we'll be like Mick. He tried one once in the pool and ordered one straight away. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Testy, testy, 1, 2, 3, surfboard, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo.